Okay. Weird. This is recording? Alright, this is just double eagle. Alright, got it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to the Sommerset Isle.
My friend, how good it is to see you.
Oh, I see.
I hear that someone drove the Woodhawks away from Brambleby. Say, heard they ran away like cowards. Well, except for their war captain. He stayed at fort.
It's good for the Bramble Bridge, but this one wonders how long their isolationist ways can last. Woodhawks aren't the only threats in Vermont.
sell to the nobility.
Yeah, parchment. It's real expensive. One thing stupid about this game is if you like steal something, you can't sell it. You have to sell it to a thief. Like, how would they know you had stolen goods? Stupid. It's not like it's wrapped up and I don't know. I can't come up with good.
And just when I was about to close up, here you are.
Okay, now I'm going to the Sommerset Isle. I got early access to this game. For some reason, ZeniMax, their company that I don't know, it's their game, I think. But, you know, it's Bethesda. Like I don't know who. It's I don't know. ZeniMax and Bethesda. They're the two companies that make Elder Scrolls games. Anyways, one of those companies gave me an invitation to play the beta. So I've played this before. But I think you'll be real impressed. If you like this Elder Scrolls, you'll be blown away by the Sommerset Isle. These buildings aren't as impressive. Actually, you're not very impressed at all. Like one of the worst building designs in video game history. I think Oblivion and Skyrim had a lot better building designs. Some of the older games that like I think they were made in the 80s or something. I don't know. I think it was the 90s. I don't think they made Elder Scrolls games in the 80s. But anyways. The games were like real pixelated. They didn't look like this. One of those old games you could go to to Sommerset Isle. Now that's how the building should look in the game. That's like a fairy tale. I don't know. It's like something you'd see at Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, you know? It's impressive. It's really like fantasy kind of buildings. That's what all the buildings should look like.
The cat fight! The island sprung a leak. Run! First, the Queen issues a decree that changes the status of Sommerset from an isolated paradise into a tourist attraction. Now monsters, sea creatures. I've never seen anything like them. Well, I say let the cat fight them. Better him than me.
Monster. Cats? Slow down and tell me what happened.
Suddenly the ground opened, spewing water and strange creatures. They attacked us. Luckily, one of the newcomers, a Khajiit, leaped in and drove them back. Called himself Razumdar. He could probably use some help if you're so inclined.
I'll go talk to Razumdar.
My friend, Raz is happy to see you, but surprised you didn't help me with these creatures. Not that Raz needed any help. You must tell me what brought you to Sommerset after you agreed to assist Raz with his usual cloak and dagger business.
Complications, Raz. That sounds ominous.
Ominous? No more than usual, my friend. But there's work for the Queen's Eye, and this one could use an extra blade if you're willing. Queen Irene issued a decree to open the borders of Sommerset and allow outsiders to have access to the island.
That doesn't sound too terrible.
That's what Raz said, but rumors reached the Queen. So this one made the journey and was immediately attacked by strange creatures. Raz doesn't think the two are related, but if you could ask some questions, check on the newcomers, that would help.
I'll ask some questions around the city.
While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing. Let's meet near the entrance to Shimmerin when you have something to report.
You know, it's just bad game design. They should have had the creatures right by the waystline. That way, when I teleported here, I would see him fight the creatures. But no, I had to walk over here, and I didn't see what happened. So, but anyways, what were these strange creatures I saw you fighting?
Raz never saw such monsters in his life. They appear related to water, but this one tends to avoid this stuff. That pearl, though, Raz swears it was calling those creatures. A mystery for another time, perhaps. Now, we need to see to the newcomers.
Anyone in specific you want me to talk to regarding the Queen's decree?
As a matter of fact, Raz made a list. Old Newell, a high elf artisan, spoke out. See what she complained about. Then there's Soxolza, a persecuted Argonian newcomer. Finally, Ranul, a city resident noted in the Divine Prosecution's observation log.
What did Old Newell speak out about, and where can I find her?
Old Newell complained about it. No. Roz doesn't want to prejudice your investigation. You will find out when you talk to her. The artists like to gather shells along the eastern coast. She uses them to make paints and dyes.
Ranul, that doesn't sound like a high elf name. I should know, since I'm a high elf.
True. Not enough syllables. Ranul's a Redguard, whose family has lived in Shimarin for generations. He's a well-respected trader, with a few warehouses along the docks. Talk to him, before the Divine Prosecution decides to arrest him.
What's the Divine Prosecution?
The Divine Prosecution serves as lawkeepers and protectors of social standards. Very persnickety. When rules are broken, they record it in their observation logs. If your name winds up on their list, things get complicated.
What do you mean? Pascal, I don't know how to say that. Is being persecuted.
Something to do with monks and newcomer registration. Roz is looking into that. Last I heard, Soxolza was seen leaving the city and heading west. Probably trying to reach the water. Lizards like water, yes? Not Roz. Ugh. Roz hates the wet stuff.
You know, I hate silent letters. What kind of name is Sosoxa? And like, why is it capital? Why is it a capital T? You know, like, what's with the T? If there wasn't a T in that word, I could sound it out. Soxola or whatever. What does all this have to do with that Glacier and these creatures?
Nothing at all. Unless you think they came to Sommerset because of the Queen's decree. No, that would be ridiculous. Let's not lose focus. Just see what Old Newell, Soxolza, and Ranul have to say about newcomers and the mood in Shimarin.
What do you expect me to learn by talking to these people?
We need to confirm these rumors or else put an end to them. Everyone should be pleased with the Queen's decree. Opening the border shows progress, yes? However, if any of her loyal subjects reject progress, well, Raz needs to know that too.
I'll go talk to Olsenwell, Renewal, and Soxolza.
While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing. Let's meet near the entrance to Shimarin when you have something to report.
Anything I should know about Shimarin before I head out?
Raz knows very little about city ordinances or how to tell the difference between mead and ale, so let's avoid those topics, yes? Otherwise, this one knows all about the Queen's decree and the initial reaction of the nobles and King Lady.
Tell me about the Queen's decree.
Queen Irene, her most excellent leader of the Altmeri Dominion, has issued a decree opening the once forbidden land of Sommerset to traders, visitors, and immigrants of all races. Controversial, yes, but part of her plan for the Dominion's future.
And this is a problem?
For some. High elves talk of perfection, but they are a complicated people. Various individuals in Somerset take issue with their queen, with change of any sort, actually. The King Lady, for example. Some nobles. Makes my job complicated.
What's that about the King Lady and the nobles?
King Lady Avenice has made her views on the Queen's decree quite clear. She calls it unreasonable, dangerous. A few of the city's nobles have sided with the King Lady, as has the new Oldark at the monastery. My queen permits discussion, to a point.
So the King Lady opposes the Queen's decree?
She has spoken against it. Now Raz needs to know how far she will go to defy the will of the Queen. Does she grumble but welcome the newcomers, or is she using every option at her disposal to block their arrival? Raz will find out, with your help.
Yeah, when I look at these buildings, I feel like I'm back in Disney World.
Go find your own patch of beach. Not that you'd understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires dedication and complete concentration. I must find the perfect shells, or my pigments will be substandard. And do you know what that will do to my art? Exactly.
What's the path of Alexon?
An ultimate concept practiced widely here in Somerset. Alaxon is the state of perfection that every high elf strives for. The path to Alaxon represents the approach we take to achieve that state. Now, why have you interrupted my work?
I heard you made complaints in Submarine. I'd like to hear about that.
I believe in caution as much as the next high elf, but sometimes the rules get in the way of common sense. My apprentice lived here for more than a year. Good help is so hard to find, especially among the newcomers, and she was adept at making dyes.
What happened to your apprentice?
They took her away. Said they had to scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. My work suffers, so of course I complained to the monks. Now I have to gather my own shells.
Did the monks offer any explanation as to where she was and when she'd be returned?
They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady. But who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? I've said too much. I have work to do, and all this aggravation has diverted my path to Alaxon.
I'll let you go back to your work.
Perfection requires constant vigilance, so back to it.
That's a I hate restoration staff. Like the yeah, like that. Yeah, like DiCaprio. Arnold DiCaprio. Yeah, that's what I look like. Looks like something he would wear. This is my favorite. Like a sorcerer now. Sommerset is not the wondrous paradise the heralds proclaimed. it to be, despite the fine words, the Queen's decree, the High Elves want nothing to do with outsiders. They treat the newcomers worse than a mud flora on a gore. As soon as I stopped off the boat, priests from the ministry elected me for some sort of cultural assessment to constrain my, I don't know how to say that, my understanding. Constrain? I think it's constrain. That's right, it is. Of societal rules and regulations. However, no one actually asked me any questions. They locked me in a cell somewhere in the bowels of the ministry, along with other newcomers to the island. Something about the whole affair felt wrong to me, like warm water in an otherwise cool stream. When I heard one of the monks give thanks with a Daedric prayer, I knew I had to get out. Back. Well, the Daedra are basically demons in the Elder Scrolls universe. So these are like priests that secretly worship demons. I knew I had to get out of there. I used the talents I learned from associates who may or may not have belonged to the Thieves Guild. I know you disapprove of my friends, and slipped out of the cell and away from the ministry. In the morning, I plan to head to Eleanor. Hopefully, I can secure passage back to Markemere. There, frankly, at this point, any destination would be preferable to here.
You saved our high and mighty queen, eh? Ha! Naaman should have had the crown.
That's pretty good.
I am desperate.
Hurrah, Caravel. How can a humble merchant help so exalted a personage on this fine and fine day?
I was wondering how your name ended up in the Divine Prosecution's observation log.
The Divine? Did a justiciar send you to harass me? I've lived in Sommerset my whole life, and I did nothing wrong. You high elves, you say we're welcome, and then you treat us like criminals. Is there any wonder I had to speak out?
What did you say exactly, if you don't mind me asking?
After I filled out all the proper forms and arranged to bring my cousin here, the ship arrived and they carted all the newcomers away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady, but what has it profited me? Nothing!
You're not a high elf. Have you lived in Sommerset very long?
Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help.
Do you like living in Sommerset?
Sommerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. The High Elves treat us like children, but they have never been hostile. The Queen's decree has stirred the waters, though. I fear it will get worse before it gets better.
This is unheard of! Why have you closed the monastery?
Good people, I hear your concerns.
But the workers I hired, they were aboard the ship from Rivenspire.
The kin lady and I, we have only your best interests in mind. Every guest must be sequestered while we ascertain their suitability for Ultima society.
The old Dark's right! Lock up the newcomers!
Send the newcomers back where they came from! We don't want them here!
Yeah, sounds like a Trump supporter.
Such anger! Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for us to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to?
The artist assistant and Redguard's cousin have both been sequestered.
Sequestered? Just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but O'Newell's assistant has lived on Sommerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. What about the lizard? What did Solza have to say?
Solza was dead by the time I reached him. I found this letter in his pack.
Why would the Aldark gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the King Lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, and not in a good way. Our course is clear, Five Claw. We must go to the monastery.
Alright, I'll help you investigate the monastery.
Raz admires your enthusiasm, but this one needs you to enter the monastery on your own. Raz has other fish to catch. This one will help you get past the sentry, though. When you notice that the sentry is distracted, just sleep quietly inside.
Eyes of polished amber, hair swept like a comet's tail, soul alive with love and joy under pregnant golden sails. My star-eyed bride of Alinor, lost in storm and spray. My star-eyed bride of Alinor, the cruel fate took away. White swan feathers fluttered from her ivory bridal gown, an unsung vow slipped from her lips, eager to be found. A star-eyed bride of Alinor, gone beneath. Gather round and hear the tale of Archmage Seal.
You there! I have a... Damn it, why won't this work?
Did you see a golden knight?
I have no idea what that was, and I'm not sure I want to know.
Mara, help me. Mara, help me find my son. An adventurer? Oh, praise you, Mara, for hearing my prayers. Please, newcomer, I'm desperate for help. My son, Arathel, has gone missing. No one will tell me what happened to him.
Slow down and tell me what happened.
Yes, I'm sorry. The last time I saw him, he was agitated, scared. I asked him what was wrong, but he left without a word. The guards arrived later. They said he turned himself in, that he was involved in a plot to kill our sapiarch, Icantar.
You say he turned himself in. He's not in his cell.
No, he vanished. They say he escaped. Can you believe it? Why would he turn himself in only to escape a few hours later? They're hiding something, I know it. Please, Caraval, help me find my boy. He would never hurt anyone. I swear it.
Alright, I'll look for your son.
You have a perfect heart, newcomer. None of my neighbors would lift a finger to help me. The guards placed Arathel in a cell beneath the Kin Lady's manor. I'm told the Justiciar of Remand is there now. A mer named Telerion. He must know something.
Would your son have any reason to kill the sapiarch? And I don't know. Is that his name? Akantor? I didn't think so.
No, Icantar treats us like family. Arathel is Icantar's apprentice, you see. He was so proud when the attestation came through. He's been a bit withdrawn, though. I found some Aprax literature in his room. But it's just a phase, right?
Aprax?
Right. You're new to the Isle. I apologize. Apraxic Mer are people who, for whatever reason, were expelled from the greater elven community. Most Aprax labor for years to re-enter society. Others choose to remain in exile. I feel very sorry for them.
And these Aprax elves, they do a lot of writing?
Some do, yes. Treatises on class warfare, religious hypocrisy, that sort of thing. A lot of young Mer take a liking to it. I think it's healthy to push back a bit. Not too much, of course, but a bit.
Are there any Aprax elves here in Submarine?
Rumor has it that a famous Aprax called the Mother of Rats lives in the city, but I've never met her. And even if I did, we're forbidden from speaking with her. Oh, that sounds awful, doesn't it? It's just the way things are here, I'm afraid.
This manor is closed by order of the Divine Prosecution, so I'll keep this brief. Who are you and what do you want?
Athrol's mother sent me to investigate his disappearance.
By Sir Abane's ring, will I never be rid of that hen? Look, turning away grieving mothers brings me no satisfaction, but this situation is delicate. The Divine Prosecution does not lose prisoners. Ever. Certainly not frightened children like Arethel.
Then where is he?
Not here, clearly. You really do mean to track him down, don't you? Fine. When we took Arethel into custody, he was only carrying a handful of coin, a tin flute, and some kind of crude map.
I could use this map to track him down. Where is he? Where is it?
Our draftsman drew up a few copies for distribution to the bailiffs. They're stacked upstairs near the hearth. You can take one if you wish, with this condition. If you find something, you will bring it to my attention, immediately.
Who are you, exactly?
So you would ask my name without offering your own? No, don't bother. I've grown to expect these clumsy troglodytic introductions. I am Talarian, Justiciar of Remand. I oversee all matters related to bonds and incarceration here in Shimmerine.
This must be a little embarrassing.
Spilling wine on your vest at a dinner party is embarrassing. This is... Frankly, there isn't a word in the common tongue for this. It is raxiferas. Disgraceful on a scale you outsiders can't even imagine.
Arethal's mother thinks he's innocent of the charges. What will happen to him if I bring him back?
That's a matter for the High Justiciar and the Sapiarchs. My only concern is returning him to custody. And time is of the essence, so please, be on your way.
Just one more thing. Do you have any idea what happened to Arthurl?
It seems he escaped into the vaulted Halsoriel.
Vaulted Historial?
The sewer. Gods, what a hideous word. Anyway, he had help. That gaping hole in the wall is obviously quite new. Might have been a conventional explosion or some kind of arcane rupture. We won't know until the Revelators examine the scene.
Sentry! Raz owes you for that game of cards and has come to pay.
I don't recall any. You say I won some gold?
don't you remember? Raz always...
Yeah, if you want to read any documents, just pause the screen when this is uploaded to the internet.
No, not now, please. Your spiritual well-being can wait until after my nap.
Where can I find the people that have been sequestered?
You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldok brought with him. They deal with all the newcomer testing and evaluations. I'm just a simple monk trying to catch up on my sleep. That was a hint, by the way.
You must have some information where they're sequestering the newcomers.
Again with the questions about the newcomers. Why does a newly arrived high elf care about the complexities of Sommerset bureaucracy? Still, if I had to guess, I'd say they were taken into the Undercroft for registration and processing. Now go away.
Tell me more about Atrarch and the new monks.
Aldok Tilkala arrived right after the Queen issued her decree. He came highly recommended by King Lady Avanice, or so I heard. It's not unusual for monks to form attachments and move together, but there's something strange about that bunch.
Strange? What do you mean?
The Aldok and his monks keep to themselves. They've taken the Undercroft for their own purposes and ordered the rest of us to avoid the ancient vaults beneath the monastery. Now, please, let me get back to my nap.
Anything else I should know about this monastery?
The monastery should be a place of peace and meditation. The Aldok has closed us down until further notice. That means if any of the monks spot you, they'll raise the alarm. Me? I never saw you. Now, if you don't mind, my nap awaits.
Why don't you find a bed? Why are you going to lie down on some wooden bench? That's to be terrible for the back.
What's the matter with you? Get out of here.
I can't open the door. We're gonna need a key or something. I don't like daggers, they're too small. It's hard to hit people with a small knife.
Unusual knick-knack for an Aldok's office, wouldn't you agree? I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind.
And what purpose would that be?
The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either.
I saw a portal like that. There were strange creatures nearby.
Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curios. Strange creatures notwithstanding, we need to find out what's happening with the missing newcomers.
How did you happen to get past the sentry, by the way?
The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more going on in Shimmerine than the usual politics and community relations.
What else could be going on here?
That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldarch and a disgruntled kin lady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore the Undercroft. Care to join me?
Yeah, I'll meet you in the Undercroft.
A curious pearl. I wonder where the Aldarch acquired it. Probably not important. I'll meet you in the Undercroft, and we can see what's going on with the newcomers. Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic. Cages? These people did nothing to deserve such treatment. There's someone alive over there. See if you can help her.
Thank the Divines! You aren't one of the monks. Please, let me out of here.
Why did they lock you in a cage?
It's a nightmare. We came to Sommerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us or the usual high elf bureaucracy, they locked us in these cages.
There are only a few of you here. Where are the rest of the newcomers?
The monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of the chamber. Please, let me out of here before they take me away like the others.
I'll unlock the cage, then see what's going on in the next chamber.
Is that a scoffin?
Yeah, it looks like a midget to me. Or like a little person.
Something is amiss in Sommerset, but I can't quite put my finger on the cause. No matter. I'm sure my investigations will turn up something. I just need to be patient.
Thank you for setting me free!
A Daedra? Here? And that's a scoffin, if I remember my Daedric recitations correctly. Very curious.
What's a dead Skulfin doing in a monastery devoted to the Eight?
An excellent question, and one I hope to find the answer to. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the Skulfin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door.
That's where the prisoner said the monks took the rest of the newcomers.
Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind all this. Without answers to those questions, we won't be able to decide on our best course of action.
What about your missing friend?
I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry.
More newcomers? Unfortunately, the magic only affects those who have been prepared. But never fear, your turn will come.
Oh no. Hey, take that.
I'll deal with the pearl. You hold off these creatures. The pearl's magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell.
Oh no. Ah. No, it's like you took care of them.
More newcomers?
Oh no, I gotta do it again.
Unfortunately, the magic only affects those who have been prepared. But never fear, your turn will come.
I'll deal with the pearl. You hold off these creatures. The pearl's magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell.
What? Ah. I think it might be better with a magic staff than a bow. Yeah, and I need some backup. when you play these games, you really need to need health potions when your health is low. What? Are they gone now? Okay. Wait. Vinvolsurian.
The pearl's draining these people.
Yep. I can tell you that.
More newcomers?
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, the magic only affects those who have been prepared. But never fear. Your turn will come.
Like I'm fighting a ghost.
I'll deal with the pearl. You hold off these creatures. The pearl's magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot better.
Come on, let's talk outside. Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers and opposing the Queen's decree. That was Daedric magic back there. I just wish we had arrived a few moments earlier.
What happened to the pearl? Did you destroy it?
I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Sijic Order. Our Right Master sent me to investigate a warning we received about a plot involving Sommerset. My inquiries led me here.
The Sijic Order?
The Sijic Order is an ancient magical monastic society. We served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, but that was before we removed our island home from the world. Now this threat has drawn us back. But why are you involved in all this?
I'm working with Razumdar, one of the Queen's eyes. But what happened to the pearl?
An eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum, the Sijic island, for safekeeping and study, so we can learn more about it. But we can discuss this further once we get out of here.
Alright, let's go. Yeah, this is a long loading screen.
Training for a few centuries doesn't prepare you for physical activity.
It doesn't prepare me for that.
Let the Eye of the Queen know what we discovered, and I'll catch up with you later.
Yeah, see you later, Viserian. I think it's a Valerian. I think that's it. Here's a movie called Valerian.
Shimmerine has always boasted the largest population of newcomers, given its location as a port city. But ever since the borders opened, that population has grown exponentially.
This looks familiar. No, that's not it. It's, yeah, before I could talk to Rosendar, where I started the quest.
Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? Tell Raz every juicy detail.
The people that were sequestered were killed to power a Daedric ritual. I found this letter.
That isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. We need to learn the extent of the King Lady's involvement, and by we, Raz means you.
You want me to go and accuse the King Lady of conspiring with Daedric cult?
Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her, see what she knows about the Oldar. The King Lady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and learn the truth. This invitation and set of elegant clothes will get you through the door.
I also met a mage from the Sigic Order in the ministry.
A Sigic? Raz has heard rumors, but there are always rumors about the Sigics. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, they certainly seem to get around. Did this Sigic mage say what the Order was investigating?
Something about a warning, and she seemed pretty interested in the life-shocking pearl.
There was a life-sucking pearl. You should probably have led with that bit of information. Well, We can worry about the Sijic mage and figure out where these pearls came from later. For now, go see what the King Lady has to say.
Shouldn't you speak to the King Lady? You do work for the Queen, after all.
King Lady Avenice and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse, a platter of pudding tarts, and... No. This one won't bore you with the sordid details. Besides, everyone behaves well when they see Raz. You will learn more than I would.
Hey, goodbye. That's pretty good. Go. Yeah, I'll play this game again tomorrow. It could be at noon or sometime.